Okay, let's say you put a photo etch part down and it's in the wrong spot and you got to reposition it. If you've watched some of my earlier videos on the TIE Fighter, you saw I did that numerous times. I'm going to do it again. What I have in this bottle right here is, and it'll focus a minute, extra strength fingernail polish remover. I had the brand name covered up. I don't really think that matters. It says Sally Henson. This is acetone based fingernail polish remover. Okay, the acetone base is what you need. Super glue. They actually use super glue to glue fingernails on women's fingers with, because it holds really well. So if you want to remove them, this does it. So I got myself a little Q-tip here. I'm getting some fingernail. Okay, I did not mean to do that. This can soften plastic, so you don't want to get too much on it and leave it there for too long. But one thing to keep in mind is this stuff here is not high strength. It's not acetone. It's acetone based. So you're not going to destroy the world, so to speak, with it. It dries up pretty good. It's got a nice pleasant smell to it. I really don't think it's going to soften the plastic that quickly. I think if I were to soak it for a couple of days, we would have that issue. I'm not soaking it for a couple of days. Now, I'm getting some of my... I'm just going to pour it right there on the part. It's poured there on the part, okay? Now, I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, but you can already see that part's loosened up. That part's loosened up. It's this big part here I'm going to have trouble with. Okay? And I come in here with an X-Acto blade. I'm not going to push very hard. There we go. See? Came right off. Didn't take a lot of struggle, not a lot of effort. I'm going to clean that part up, and with a piece of paper towel, and I can reglue that part down and reposition it perfectly fine. Because, well, we just dissolved all the super glue is what we did. And that's a delicate part too. Bends easy, tiny, small, you name it. I didn't lose the part, but I'm flinging it around a bit. But again, you can see that is a very delicate, tiny little part. And that just came right up. So let me set that part off to the side, let it dry, get my part cleaned up a little bit. And we'll be ready to give it a second try. Okay, anyhow, folks, I just wanted to show you, you get some photo etch part in the wrong spot, easy to remove. Acetone-based fingernail polish remover. And again, you saw how quick that part came up. And very delicate little tiny part. And it just came right up. All right, hopefully that is helpful. By the way, you know what else will remove super glue? Lacquer thinner. But be careful with, this bottle has lacquer thinner, it's not labeled. Be careful with lacquer thinner. One, the fumes are no bueno for your lungs. Two, it'll remove plastic from plastic. It'll melt plastic. It'll distort plastic. If there's a finish on your plastic, that finish is gone. It removes the skin from your skin. I mean, the stuff is just nasty, bad stuff overall in the real world. But it'll take super glue off too. It'll clean it up really well. Just letting you know. Not good stuff. Okay, I just changed the orientation of that brass piece in the back. Out of curiosity earlier, I did a dry fit with the cockpit in place. And yeah, you're going to be able to see that brass piece in the back of that thing just fine under bright light conditions. You're going to be able to see the pilot too. So I fixed it. It was not level and it was not centered. It is now level and centered. Up next, I have to re-drill the holes for the fiber optics that are going to run through there. Okay? And we're seeing, there we go. Now we got her straight and level. And yes, that will be visible through the front windshield. So again, I had to fix it. So it's there. Let me get going on the control yoke, because once the control yoke's done, this thing, I can glue this part on there and I'm ready to start painting it. Once it's painted, lighting, and then assembly, and then paint. Yes, I'm going to put it all together and paint it first. Call me some sort of crazy, but that's what I'm going to do. Simply because I think that's best with this model. Okay? Because I want to do some pre-shading and stuff, and I can't do that with the model in pieces. You can, but I just think it's going to be easier to not try to handle a painted model with the assembly I'm doing. I just think it's going to be better to assemble it, mask, and paint. Okay, let me get going on the control yoke so that I have the interior done. I hope to have the interior done tonight and painting it tomorrow. I'll be back in a bit. Alright everyone, this is assembled as well as I think I'm going to get it. There are 4 different photo etch parts there. And a lot of them are very, very fragile. Where's my little photo etch picker-upper? Okay. Let me take it and put it where you guys can actually see it a little bit better on my finger. We'll zoom it in. It'll pick up the zoom in a second. It'll clarify. Okay. Now this goes on the control yoke. There are reference photos that show this there. It is interesting to put that together, to say the least, and it is very fragile. Alright? And I can see I got just a little bit of super glue where I did not want it. So I'm taking my Q-tip, and we're going to get the tip of it wet with some fingernail polish remover and clean that up a little bit. Now, this is going to be a lot of fun to paint. The reason I say that is I get the feeling there are 2 different colors to this thing. Put it back on the wood where you guys can see it. Get the feeling there's 2 different colors to this thing, the raised and the recessed. That shouldn't be too hard to paint. The only problem I'm thinking about is I'm going to go ahead and glue it on here so that I have the whole interior assembly done today. And then I'll primer it tomorrow and paint. Now, one of the fun things about this, yeah, we just lost part of the control arm, is this gold part in the back, the brass part back there, is actually brass as far as I can tell from the photos I've seen. I don't know if it's going to get painted that color, but that's what it looks like in the photos. Alright. I'll be back in a minute to show you the completed cockpit because it's only going to take me a few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and glue a few things together with super glue instead of regular model glue. So, again, I'll be back in a second. Well, there you go. It's glued on. The control yoke's glued on. Control yoke's not 100% straight. There we go. The super glue, it's the slow curing super glue. So I can reposition things for just a little bit before it sets. That's why I like using that stuff. It doesn't cure up in like seconds, because that annoys me when I'm trying to glue parts together. But there we go, it's all done. Up next is let this sit overnight, and I'll put a primer on it and paint it. Once it's painted, I can start doing the lighting. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed watching this go together. It has been an interesting time, to say the least. Okay? Just doing the cockpit tonight. But it's done. I'm going to let it sit overnight. I've not glued this back panel on there yet. So I can remove this still, because I need to drill a few holes. And, oh, actually, I could drill the holes with it there, I think. But it'll be easier without. I'm going to go ahead and paint it, snap together, and then remove it, glue it. I could drill the holes first. Anyhow, this will get primered tomorrow. So we're done with all the photo etch is ready to go on the interior. I'm ready to start painting tomorrow. Drill a few holes again. And that's it. I'm quitting for the night. I gotta let this sit overnight anyhow. We'll be back tomorrow.